Your first $20,000 will not buy you freedom. It buys something much heavier and far more uncomfortable. It buys the brutal realization of how trapped you actually were. For years, you convinced yourself you were doing just fine. You paid the bills, you went out on weekends, you bought clothes you liked. You thought you were living, but you were merely surviving on a tightrope, completely unaware of the drop beneath your feet. One medical emergency, one car breakdown, one unexpected layoff would have destroyed everything. You were walking blindfolded. Now, looking at that number in your bank account, the blindfold comes off. You finally see the edge of the cliff you were dancing on, and the sheer drop terrifies you. The shift happens quietly. You wake up one Tuesday morning, and the world feels slightly different. The air in your kitchen does not feel as heavy. The commute to work does not feel like a death march. It is not because you are rich. $20,000 does not make you wealthy. It barely makes you comfortable, but it makes you insulated. It builds a thin, invisible wall of glass between you and the absolute chaos of the world. For the first time in your adult life, your heart does not skip a beat when the phone rings with an unknown number. You do not hold your breath when you swipe your debit card at the grocery store. The low hum of anxiety that has been vibrating in your chest since you were 18 years old finally goes quiet. But the silence that follows is terrifying. When the panic of pure survival fades, you are left completely alone with your life choices. This is where the real pain begins. Because having a buffer of $20,000 exposes the uncomfortable truth about your career, your relationships, and your daily habits. When you had zero, you had to take the abuse. You had to smile when your manager spoke down to you. You had to work through the weekend because you needed that paycheck to clear by Friday afternoon. Desperation makes you compliant. It forces you to bow your head and swallow your pride. But that desperation is gone now. The next time someone disrespects you at work, a new, dangerous thought creeps into your mind. You realize you could simply walk away. You could hand in your badge, walk out the front door, and survive for 6 months without breaking a sweat. You do not quit, of course, but the mere fact that you can changes your entire posture. You sit up straighter in meetings. You speak slower. You stop apologizing for things that are not your fault. And while this newfound boundary feels powerful, it brings a creeping sense of dread. If you no longer have to tolerate a job you hate out of sheer survival, why are you still sitting at that desk? The excuse of absolute necessity has been stripped away. You can no longer blame your misery on the immediate need for a paycheck. You're choosing to stay. Facing that realization is a bitter pill to swallow. It means the only thing holding you back from a better life is your own fear, not your bank balance. Then comes the great temptation, the ultimate test of who you are about to become. The moment you hit $20,000, an intense, almost primal urge washes over you. You want to spend it. You look at your phone, you look at the streets, you look at your friends, and a voice in your head screams that you deserve a reward. You sacrificed. You ate cheap food. You stayed home while others went out. You worked late hours. You suffered to accumulate this wealth, and now your brain demands the dopamine hit of a massive purchase. You start browsing for a new car. You look at European vacations. You convince yourself that spending $5,000 on a luxury watch or a designer bag is a minor dent, a justified celebration of your financial discipline. This is the exact moment where 99% of people fail. They break under the psychological weight of having money they are not spending. They believe that the purpose of money is to be traded for objects that signal success to strangers. If you give in to this urge, you will immediately feel a rush of euphoria. You will drive that new car off the lot, gripping the leather steering wheel, feeling like a champion. But within 30 days, the new car smell will fade. The vacation tan will wash off, and you will look at your bank account and realize you are back to $10,000 or $5,000. The invisible glass wall you built between yourself and chaos has been shattered by your own hands. The low hum of anxiety will return to your chest. You will realize with a sickening drop in your stomach that you traded your peace of mind for a piece of metal and plastic. You sold your freedom back to the system just to look like you were winning. Saving your first $20,000 forces you to confront your ego. You begin to understand that true wealth is quiet. True wealth is the money you do not spend. It is the invisible energy that allows you to sleep peacefully at night. It is the hidden leverage that prevents other people from controlling your time. But society hates quiet wealth. The world is designed to separate you from your money through noise, pressure, and constant comparison. When you decide to keep the money in the bank, you must accept a harsh reality. You will continue to look average. You will still drive the older car. You will still wear the same jackets. People who have less money than you will look wealthier than you. Your broke friends will drive nicer vehicles and wear expensive shoes financed at 20% interest. They will subtly look down on you, unaware that their entire existence is owned by a credit card company, while you own yourself. This realization alters your relationships permanently. You start to see the people around you with a painful clarity. You sit at dinner tables and listen to friends complain about how they never have enough money, only to watch them order $50 steaks and complain about the economy. You notice the habits that keep them trapped. You see the constant, mindless consumption. You see the complete lack of discipline masked as self-care. And you realize you can no longer join in their complaints. You can no longer participate in the collective bonding over mutual poverty. You have crossed an invisible line. You are playing a different game now, and playing this new game is a very lonely experience. You cannot tell them you have $20,000 saved. If you do, they will expect you to pay for dinner. They will ask for loans they will never repay. They will view your discipline as a stroke of sheer luck, completely invalidating the years of sacrifice you endured to get here. So you stay quiet. You smile, you nod, and you carry the weight of your discipline entirely alone. But the deepest pain of saving your first $20,000 comes from the realization of time. One evening, sitting alone, you will do the math. You will calculate exactly how many hours of your life you traded to accumulate that money. You will look at the months and years you spent grinding away, saving $200 here, $500 there. You will see the sheer volume of human energy it took to build that small wall of security. And then, an icy realization will wash over you. If it took you 3 years to save $20,000, how long will it take to reach $100,000? How long to reach $1 million? You realize that if you keep trading time for money at this current rate, you will literally run out of life before you reach true financial independence. You will be 65 years old, exhausted, with a decent bank account, but no youth left to enjoy it. This is the exact moment you realize you have been playing the wrong game. You have been playing defense. Saving money is a purely defensive strategy. It stops you from drowning, but it does not teach you how to swim toward the shore. You realize that keeping $20,000 in a savings account earning 2% interest while inflation destroys the purchasing power of your money at 5% a year is a slow, silent death. You are losing money every single day just by letting it sit there. The realization hits you like a physical blow. Hard work and saving are not enough. They're only step one. The rules you were taught by your parents, the virtues of simply working hard and stuffing money away, are fundamentally flawed in a modern economy. You are forced to confront your own financial ignorance. You realize you know nothing about investing, nothing about assets, nothing about making money work for you instead of you working for it. The fear of losing your hard-earned $20,000 is paralyzing, but the fear of staying stagnant is worse. You have to step into the unknown. You have to start learning about index funds, real estate, businesses, and compound interest. You have to rewire your brain to understand that money is not just a shield to protect you from bad days. It is a tool, a worker, a soldier that must be deployed to capture more resources. If you do not deploy it, it will slowly wither away. This is why saving your first $20,000 is so incredibly painful. It destroys your excuses. It strips away the comforting illusion that everything will magically work out if you just show up to your 9-to-5 job and pay your bills on time. It shows you the brutal mechanics of the real world. It proves that nobody is coming to save you. No magical raise is going to suddenly alter your destiny. The system is perfectly designed to keep you exhausted, compliant, and continuously consuming until the day you die. But within this massive, crushing weight of truth, there is an incredible spark of hope. The fact that you feel this pain, means you are finally awake. You are no longer sleepwalking through your financial life. You have done something most people will never have a discipline to do. You have delayed gratification. You have proven to yourself that you can control your impulses. You have built the foundation. The pain you feel right now is simply the growing pains of a new mindset taking root. You are standing at a crossroads, fully aware of the consequences of your next move. You're not too late. You are exactly where you need to be. The years you spent blindly working were not wasted. They were the training ground for the resilience you now possess. The $20,000 is your ticket out of the survival matrix. It is the breathing room you need to finally stop reacting to the world and start planning your attack. You can fix this. You can pivot. You can take a portion of that money and invest it in a skill that doubles your earning power. You can slowly begin moving capital into assets that pay you while you sleep. You can start building a life where your income is totally disconnected from your time. The pain of realization is the greatest gift that money has bought you. You cannot unsee the cliff. You cannot unlearn the truth about time and consumption. And because you cannot unsee it, you will never allow yourself to go back to being a victim of your own financial ignorance. You're going to take the discipline that got you to $20,000 and you're going to weaponize it. You're going to learn how to play offense. You're going to build true, unbreakable freedom. The hardest part is already over. You survived the trap. Now, it is time to build your empire.